Alright, bringing you a World of Warcraft video, that's right. Specifically, we're going to be talking about a private server called Turtle WoW. I was trying to think, how can I lose a bunch of subscribers? And I thought, well, this will be perfect. I'll do a video on a private server World of Warcraft video. So let's just get right into it. There is... Okay, so I gotta be real. I played some first-person shooters, but these types of World of Warcraft MMO kind of games, I've probably spent thousands upon thousands of hours playing these. Yes, I'm not afraid to admit that I have loved and cherished these games. Now, there's been a lot of hoopla with Blizzard, and I don't even know if that's a company anymore. They were bought by Microsoft, and there was some shenanigans that went on there, and we're not going to get into all that. It's a shame. So what has happened, though, is that there are a bunch of servers, private servers, that host the game, however they host it. But this one in particular, of some that I may have tried, this is particularly good. So this is called Turtle WoW. This actually launched in 2018, right? 2018, that's right. It came out before Classic launched. And if anyone knows about Classic, right, that has come and that has gone. And if anyone's actually watching this and knows anything about that whole situation, they're like, well, actually, it still exists. Well, actually, not really. Yes and no. I believe it's called Era now, but people basically joined it, rushed to get max level, rushed to get gear, and then rushed to move on to the next expansion, and now it's just a dead game. What has happened here, though, Turtle WoW, we're going to keep this positive, we're going to just keep talking about Turtle WoW. This is basically as if this is like WoW Vanilla, but I would call it like WoW Vanilla plus an expansion. I always thought that when TBC came out that the new races were going to be High Elf, and I thought the other race was going to be Goblin, right? Goblins for Horde, High Elf for Alliance. That's what I thought was going to happen. And what instead happened was Blood Elves for Horde and Draenei? What? For Alliance? It's so weird. And they like flew in on a spaceship or... I don't know. So what they've done here with their expansion it's made a lot of sense, I think, lore-wise, and I think, theme-wise and all this, and blah, blah, blah. It really makes a lot of sense. And they've used the, kind of like the old... I think they're using, like, the female newer faces, but the male older faces, which I like, I think is really good. Kind of looks like an older face here, but I swear when you go into it... So I am going to bring it up in a second. Really great website. So there's 2 new races that you can play. All this, they've added new music and sounds. The music is definitely more... I noticed it more in the new towns. Yeah, they've made new towns. That's right. And the new towns look really good. I'm not going to showcase every single new piece of everything here because that would stink, I think, for you, honestly. It would be too much work for me. So you're just going to take my word for it. There are new zones as well. Fantastic. Can I click on this? Will it show some of these things off? Yeah, this website is beautiful and really well done. I'm not going to play all these videos, but I'll have this link in the description for you so that you can come here and watch all this really cool stuff. The developers are very active in this game, at least it appears that they are. What else can I say about this? There's just... Look at all this new stuff, dude. I mean, it's incredible. So like when I played Classic, I was kind of hoping that, like those rose-colored glasses we all wear for nostalgia would really be extra bright or whatever. And it was good. But listen, like playing on this, and I think I'm approaching like level 30, so I haven't spent like a ton of time, and I have not hit max level. Why is Steam annoying me? Go away. When I'm playing this, I feel like I'm reliving the old experience. Maybe because there's so much new stuff that they've kind of intertwined into the old. They've done it really well, I promise you. It's like a very kind of seamless winding or twisting of like new quests and old quests. They make a lot of sense. I've accepted a bunch of new quests that I didn't know were new until I was kind of like partway through them, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute, I don't think I've actually done this before. So yeah, they've done a really good job at like kind of sneaking those in, and they've got new rewards too for said quests. What else can I say about this? They've done like new professions. Look at these features. Look at this. All this, incredible. Yeah, they've added new dungeons. I'm not really sure what the raids are, but apparently there's some new ones of those. Again, I've only put maybe, I'm not sure how many hours. I've put quite a lot, though, I think, so far. Maybe like 20, 30? Somewhere in that vicinity. Pretty good. Um, they have a hardcore mode. That's right. If you know what hardcore is from like other games like Diablo 3, once that character dies, it's gone for good. Oh, I'm afraid of hardcore. I don't like it. Yeah, lag. Yeah. Well, it's not for you, but it's for everyone else who's got a spine. No, I don't know. I'm too bad, and that's my excuse that I'm just bad. I own up to it. Other people like to say it's not really cool or whatever. No, it is. It's really cool. Um, they also have a list somewhere of everyone who's ever gotten to level 60 um, on the server. I think there's like 352 people at the moment that have gotten level 60. You get like an immortal title. I think it's infinitely cool. I think it's very challenging. Um, and it's really neat. You can actually level like side by side with these people. You can't group with them. You have to be a hardcore character yourself, and you can only level or group up with other hardcore characters that are within 5 levels of yourself. You can't use the auction house. You can't mail items. You can just mail like just like text or whatever. So it's kind of like an Iron Man challenge plus hardcore. You can do dungeons. I wouldn't recommend it though, because if you wipe, that's it forever. So pretty great. They call this slow and steady mode. I believe this is actually called turtle mode in the game. You get less EXP, I think, and I think if you die, you lose a little bit of EXP as well. So it's definitely a slower rate of leveling. But you get, you get stuff every 10 levels. So fashion coins. So they added transmog in this. I like that personally. I think it's great. So these are basically 5 transmog coins. You can earn coins in game by doing repeatable quests. I haven't really gotten too deep into it, but you just play the game and you can earn these things. So that's really cool. So yeah, every 20 levels you get some stuff. So that's kind of like your like, what's the purpose? Why would you want to level slower? Yeah, because you're getting cool stuff. And I think you also get you get this tabard, and you get like a unique mount. Now, is this tabard for all your characters? I can't answer that yet. Or is this mount for all your characters? I don't know. But pretty neat. So they got like a little challenge mode here, a little slow and steady. So that's pretty neat. And war mode, this is what I highly recommend. So I think originally the server was like RP, like role playing, right? And it was PvE, and I guess it technically still is that. But what's happened lately, and I don't know if it's because of war mode, I don't know if it's because people are doing YouTube videos, but the popularity of the server has been growing, and I believe they've been hitting new active user peaks recently. And I know some of these numbers are not going to impress y'all, because some people only play this game for status, which is unfortunate, because if you're just playing it for anything but status, it's incredible. I promise you, it's really good. But I think the peak was like 1,400 and, I don't know, we'll just say 15. So 14, 15, I think, was the peak active users. From what I've seen, if you're playing at like the AM hours of the server, and the server I believe is, so like you can see here, I'm East Coast, USA. The server is actually UK, right, I think. So they are 5 hours ahead of me. So even at like the worst times on the server, I'm seeing like 490 people online at once. Usually it's in the 500s, but during peak hours, yeah, you're looking at 12, 13, and even 1,400 people online at the same time. But anyways, I think this war mode may have brought some folks in. Basically what this does is it permanently flags you for PvP, and it actually works a little bit different than it did in retail. In retail, on a PvP server, you could retreat to your main city, right? Or if you were in like a quote horde zone or alliance zone, like Elwyn Forest or Duratar or something like this, like you were safe. No, not in this. Once you flag yourself, you can be killed anywhere, even your main town, anywhere, and there is no timer at which it depletes. You are always flagged all the time. So it's a little more little more hardcore than it is on a PvP server. But those are your general changes right here. So I think the biggest attraction to this, besides the fact that it turns it into like a PvP server, is you get 30% more EXP from all sources. All sources, 30% more EXP. That's right. Killing mobs, 30% more. Turning in quests, 30% more. Incredible. So it's 1 times EXP rates, so it's the old school rates, and I know that's a turn off for some folks, but if you turn on this war mode, 30% faster, dog. It's incredible. Did I say dog? Woof woof. So I'm really liking it. To me, it's sped it up considerably. I leveled up in the vanilla days. I leveled up in classic in 2020. I may have played on other private servers before, and it feels very fast to me. So, there's all this stuff. Player versus player bounty boards. I have not really sunk my teeth into all these things. I'm just telling you guys, there is a absurd amount of content, that they have there's that 30% number, to this game. I'm probably not even going to touch the surface. I don't even know how many people are actually going to watch this video, because it's just really rambling, and I'm not really putting anything to any kind of whatever, I don't know, blah blah blah. So they have these challenge modes that are really cool. When you first start playing, they dump you into a beginner guild, like right off the bat. You are in the same guild. If you're Horde or Alliance, you're in the same guild. You can do dungeons with the opposing faction, and you can also do raids with the opposing faction. Now, if you're already saying that's not cool, alright, fine. I think that's awesome. I think it's great. So if you're worried about the low numbers for the server and am I going to be able to raid? Am I going to be able to get gear then quit? Yes, you're going to be able to get gear then quit once you get all that gear. I assure you, you will have no problems getting all that gear then quitting right after you get it. It's great, and then it's cool too, right? Because I mean, if you played Horde, you're always really envious that the other side got paladins, and if you played Alliance, I don't know, what are you envious of? I'm not really sure. Like shamans doing what? I don't know. So now, vanilla players, you get everything when you're raiding. So I think it's incredible. Makes it much easier to do dungeons. I did a Wailing Caverns with a night elf druid that was in bear form. It was incredible. So that was really cool. So many features, so much to talk about. So, and there's going to be class changes coming up. I think this has been teased for a while now. I don't really know. I've only been at this for 2 or 3 weeks, and I've only been playing a little bit, so I'm not incredibly certain what this is, but I think the idea here is that they're going to change some stuff to make... I mean, I don't know who I'm talking to exactly, but if you're familiar with the whole vanilla thing, you kind of know that some builds were, the young kids say meme spec, but it basically pointless. They were just not optimal. They were not viable, and I think they're going to try to kind of buff up some of that stuff. So they're not going over the deep end. This isn't like a traditional Blizzard patch where they just make this strong and make this weak and make that strong and make this, well, still irrelevant. All that stuff. I think these are more like tweaks. Right? I think this is really gonna... See what they even say right here. Elemental Enhancement both have struggles in PvE. Agreed. Can be addressed somewhat easily. Restoration is pretty solid in vanilla. So I think they're probably gonna leave Restoration alone, right? I mean, what would Blizzard do, right? They would just nerf one of these things into the ground and then make one stupid strong. They're gonna add this stuff. This is pretty neat, right? So if you're playing a Tauren, you get a little Spirit Link action, a little Warcraft 3. That's pretty cool. So that is coming. I know people can't play games these days without knowing that there's going to be an update on the way, so they're always updating this. So for all of you who need that plug-in life support, always getting an update to your game, they do that. I don't know how they do that, considering how much content's already in the game. It's just incredible. So I have rambled on a lot. So let's just get into a little bit of the game here. So I haven't gotten very far. I made a couple of characters, but here's, I like Horde, so I'm playing Horde, and something really cool. I don't know if you've noticed already, right? That is a green troll. Holy moly! Um, this is a Tauren with some interesting horns. So they've actually done some visual updates. Um, Let me see if I can show off a couple things. I don't know what all of them are, but here are the goblin, right? So they've got like the newer goblin lady, but they've got the older goblin male. And I think, right? So it's not a very sophisticated looking model, but I like that it's the OG, right? I think that looks really cool. These are the things that he can be. Yes. What about racials? His racials are honestly a little lackluster. What they're not saying here is I think he gets a dagger and mace bonus, which I think in vanilla is rather good. So he does get that. That's nice. That's always good. This is not the same as it is in retail. This is like a sprint that lasts for like 5 seconds, and then afterwards you actually run slower. So it's kind of like it's like a getaway button. It's not really like this kind of combat trick or anything like this. And I think the hairstyles are kind of like retails as well. So, cool stuff there. Here's the High Elf. I don't know if these are the most popular on the server. They did a census in February. I'm sure it is. They were like the most popular horde thing, right? So I haven't even looked at these, honestly. But get a mix of, you know, I don't remember blue being a choice or purple, whatever color this is. Could be paladins. Could be the ladies. Sometimes, like when you do different faces or skin colors, you get like some other additional options. You know, some of those looked a little more teal to me than blue with the eyes. Look at that, they look a little more tealish. So that's really neat there. I don't know if this is a little extra exaggerated or if that is what it was, but that looks really cool. Gnomes, right? Everyone hates gnomes on the server. I don't understand why. I think all the races are cool. The only thing I noticed about her or him, this night elf, is the they added black for a hairstyle, or a hair color, I should say. So now you can change these markings, and you get like that additional color. I think that's pretty cool, right? Dwarf. What do the dwarf get? I know they get something a little extra. I think it's oh yeah, so like now you get like those, I can't remember what they're called, but you know, they get the ones with the color on it. So that's really neat there. I don't know if anything's been done with humans. Doesn't look like that. I kind of feel like they tried to spruce up the races that people didn't play as much, so they gave dwarves a little something something. I don't think undead got anything extra or special. I think orc. Well, I don't know what orc got, but I know that they can be mages, so that's really cool, right? So if you're wondering, what about that OP stun resist? Yep, they still get the bonus 25%. I don't know if that's going to benefit mage, but sure, I mean, it pretty much benefits everybody. So you can be orc mage, you can be an undead hunter, right? That's pretty cool. Like that. That's really sweet. Can this guy be anything extra? No. Can this be anything extra? I could always be mages, right? I think so. Goblins, that's what they can be. I don't know who else got, like, extra stuff. Okay, I don't think these were mages in the base game, right, in vanilla. So that's kind of cool there. Oh, they got a little different beard style, too, right? I think if you go through this, like, facial hair, they got, like, that underlying beard, but then you can keep scrolling and get the regular ones again. And I guess gnomes, I think they did something funky with their facial. See how, like, wide that is? You can get, like, these wider ones. I'm not... Interesting. But and then you can get all the regular ones, too. So, all that is there. And I'll just pick, like, one at not so much random, because I kind of know where the stuff is. So, random name, add an extra U so I can actually make it. Okay, and then I'll go into the world. So when you first, like, start in, everyone asks these same, like, few questions when they first start playing. Is this server dead? Is this server good? Is this server... Yes. Yes, it's not dead, and it is good. They also ask a lot of good questions, but you see it a lot because there's a lot of new players coming in. Where's the glyph vendor? Where's this? Where's that? How do I do this? Let me just show you where the glyph vendor is. It's how you do those challenge modes, how you do the turtle modes, how you do the war modes, how you do the hardcore. Well, not the hardcore, but I'll show you where that is as well. And it's going to be a little bit different depending on every starting zone. But basically, like, it's within the vicinity of where you start, where you find either the hardcore guy or the vendor that has all of the glyphs. Now, if you make a goblin or if you make a high elf, you will actually get a new custom like load-in. So you, there's someone who's actually done voice work, which is incredible. Why is this not working? Making me look bad right now. Oh. No. Alright, this took a little while. Sorry. It's taking a little while again. That's always good. It's always good when you're on a recording, you're trying to show something off, and it's not working as seamlessly as you had wanted it to. But it eventually did work. Thank God. I know, it feels like forever, but I'm sure when you're watching it probably didn't seem like it was that long. So, right, so these are the graphics when you're playing in-game, right? That looks pretty good, right? I think I have everything more or less like cranked up. So you can get up to this resolution. So that's pretty good. Now I will say when you do like Alt-Tab and stuff, it's not like you can. I don't even want to do it because it is slow to go in and out. But you can do it. Like I'll just do it. I can minimize, right? And sometimes it takes a minute to go back. Now it's not. Okay, so it took forever to load, but now it switches flawlessly. So that's great. So yeah, I have everything jacked up. I recommend these settings because this works. But there you go. I'm sure you can screw around with the Windows mode. I just like this. This works for me. You can absolutely do hotkeys. So this is 1.12. Maybe I should have said that sooner. So when you go into the interface options, remember this old? Remember this? Yeah. This is not what Classic was, right? Because Classic was 1.16, I think, and this is 1.12. So you're going to have to do some add-ons if you want, you know, the game to be played for you by them. Because there's a lot of things that aren't here. There is a GitHub for add-ons, and you're going to have to follow the instructions. I have not gotten any. I'm very often a purist when it comes to games, and I don't get add-ons and things like this. I'll eventually break down when I start PvPing seriously, if that even exists on here. But anywho, where are those darn glyphs? Here's the guild that you just you just log into, and for Orc, you're gonna go back into this cave. If you were playing human, you start at that abbey. You go into the abbey. If you're undead, you walk out of that crypt thing and you go into the church, and there's gonna be a glyph vendor. But here he is. He's called Scribe, the Glyph Master. He's like, I like to buy a glyph. This is where you can do this one, the turtle mode, the slow and steady, right? And this is what I recommend. Enable this, do this. You get the 30% EXP across the board, including when you turn in quests. Makes it a lot faster, and PvP is cool, guys. But I don't want to get ganked, I don't want to... Fine, then don't do it. Stop whining. But for anyone with just even the littlest balls like me, it's not a big deal. And it's really cool, and it makes it really fast, and it makes it feel like a PvP server again. And I don't want to get ganked. Just log off. Play a different character. I don't know. It's not a big deal. I'm telling you, most of the people on the server are pretty cool. I haven't run into like a really nasty ganker. I have been killed in town multiple times, and I've been killed out in the open. But it doesn't really happen a lot. I think compared to Classic, it's pretty tame. So, yeah, so you just, for, 5 copper, so you might have to sell, your starting food, or if you really had to, you could sell something in here, or you could just go kill something and sell the first thing you make, or you earn. So, if you wanted to do hardcore, though, you actually have to come out to this guy, and you have to be level 1, so it's a little bit of laggy there. That's me. I don't think that's the server. And you accept this, and that'll make you hardcore, and it'll actually take you out of this newcomers guild, and it will put you into a guild called Staying Alive, or Alive Still, or something like this. Yeah, normally the game is not so staggeredy. I think that's just me running something in the background, and it's not really them. It's been a very smooth experience. I have not been kicked off. The only like couple glitchy things that have happened to me is I did fall through the earth or the world one time. Um, and there's like a flight path or two that doesn't seem to work. There might be some other things that are not perfect, but for a free game, yeah, pretty amazing. I think it's very smooth. I've had really no issue with the game whatsoever. I like it. I think this is about the laggiest it's ever been. I don't know if it's because I'm recording and or I'm updating something in the background. That's probably it. But I really like it. It's really smooth. What else can I show you guys? Is it the original talents? Yes, and that may change with these updates. But right now it is the original talents. So if you remember Mage, yes, Frost is like the spec. What else? Ret Paladins are terrible, and just like they were in Vanilla. That might change with these updates. There are going to be... There's going to be a new town here. There's new towns everywhere. I'm going to try logging off of this character and logging onto another one. There is a group finder. It works kind of like Retails does, where you queue up as a DPS, a tank, or whatever, and it will try to find or match you up with some other folks. It will not warp you there. You actually have to go walk there. And I was saying before how you can group with Alliance. So if you're doing like those dungeons that are like in the main cities, yeah, you really can't do those because the guards will kill them. But otherwise, you can go walk, and as long as I think you have to form the group through that. I'm not really 100% sure on that. I'm not like an expert on this game, and I haven't put like a ton of time into it. So there's a lot of things that I'm learning. I don't even know if people are going to be like listening to this. I'm really not. This is mostly just organized video I've ever done. I'm not saying a lot because I do really bad videos, but I just want to show you what Orgrimmar looks like. It's more or less the same town from Vanilla. They have added some additional vendors and things. If you've never played on a private server before, I guess that can be kind of jarring, but that's pretty normal. There's usually like some flair, some bonus stuff. Like I don't remember if that was in the original game or not. Like I don't think all that stuff in the center was there. This, I would say, is about the regular load time. So, like, yeah, you can't see my character yet. But as things are loading in, they kind of added some cool stuff. The transmog person is right there. That's the repeatable quest you can do to get the tokens. There's the bank we all know and love. That's exactly the same as you remember it. The auction house is active, and it is good. It feels like a real auction house. I know on some private servers it's kind of just like gimmicky. Nope, there is stuff on here. People are buying and selling. I've made some loot, right? Playing on the auction house, pretty great. Like if I want to look up wool cloth, right? And you can organize it. Right, that's pretty good. And you can scroll through. How about active, right? How about copper bars? Alright, people are selling copper bars. What about a little peace? Got some peace blooms, huh? Let's take a look at containers, bags. You know what I'm saying? This game is 610 people, and it is 2:40 a.m. server time. So this is not peak time. If this was like between 5 p.m. and 11 p.m., this number would be 900 to like 12. It's 1,200 during those peak hours, and that's plenty of people to find groups with. When I'm in the starter zones, I run into people all the time. If I do, let's see, join LFT. Go back to my general here. There are people who are looking for groups. So this is like an SFK. There's Wailing Caverns, Black Rock Depths, Nomaragon. And during the peak hours, this is like, it's so spam that you can barely even read stuff. So I have to like, kind of pause it and go back up and read it like that way. So there are people looking for stuff all the time. This guild that we're in, I actually don't even remember how to open up the guild thing. which is terrible of me. Was it O? Guild? Um, yep, there you go. And you can see all the people there. So you can message any of these people. Sometimes when like the 60s will stay to help folks. So there are definitely people playing this game. Again, this is not peak time. Um, what else can I say about this? I'm having a blast. I'm really enjoying the leveling experience. The new quests are really fun. There's a new profession called like survivalist slash woodworker or something, and they can build these tents, which look kind of like this. And let's see if there's actually one going. The tents look like this, and if you're standing underneath of them, you actually earn rest EXP at a ridiculously fast rate. So what? Like you'd park a character overnight, and you might gain like 2 or 3 bubbles worth of rest. Um, with these tents, you earn roughly like a bubble a minute. Yeah. So 3 minutes, and you got as much as you would for like, a 10-hour log off. That's pretty amazing. And then they can actually stack tents. So I don't know how many you can stack total, like 5, 6, something like this, and you will literally see like this rest bar go like through the roof. And I think you can have a total rested amount of like a level and a half. So very often, like I'll fill it up and never know like if I'm fully rested all the way. Pretty much, if you know that like it's gonna fill up in 5 minutes for one bar, like another 2.5 should get you the whole thing. So yeah, really incredible. I'm just having so much fun. I'm having a blast. The people are really nice. The community is like a really big deal for folks, and I think it's very good here. The guild, very nice folks in the guild. When you're playing at the AM hours, you get your you get your folks talking about the things they talk about. It's kind of a little bit Baron's chat in there sometimes, but during peak hours, if you ask a question, like someone will answer it. Like I got this free bag from somebody, this Fagad, nice person. He made a whole bunch of bags for people in the guild, so that's really cool when you're like level 1 and you get a 14 slot bag for free. People give like really good advice. I don't know. I'm just liking it. I'm having more fun on it than I did on Classic. When it comes to raiding, what about that end game gear? Because I know that's what most people play the game for, is to get the raid gear and then quit. They did something where it's like you can do like a 25-man molten core and it scales or something like this. I don't know what the minimum number is. Like I don't know if it's 10. I don't know if it's 15. I honestly don't know. There's a lot I don't know yet. So if you have trouble getting 40 people together, do not fear, you can have less. So that's really cool. I was talking to somebody last night. What if you're a dad gamer? Can you even raid? You can. There are guilds that will let you raid. This is just hearsay now. Objection, hearsay. That will let you raid part-time, and you can still get gear. What about PvP gear? I've been told that the honor decay has been lessened, but still exists, and I think because it's a smaller player pool, it's easier to get PvP rank, but at the same time, less games are going, so it's harder at the same time. I don't know. This was a huge ramble. I hope this helped. I hope this was informative, and I hope this encourages you to play Turtle WoW. Alright, thank you so much for watching.